In other news now, the son-in-law of Angolan President Jose Eduardo dos Santos says he has been sentenced in absentia to 1 year in prison for real estate fraud by Congolese court. Sindika Dokolo, however, says Wednesday's verdict was politically motivated as it criticized President Joseph Kabila for refusing to step down. President Joseph Kabila's chief political rival, Moise Katumbi, was also convicted of real estate fraud last June, shortly after he announced his candidacy to stand in an election to replace Mr. Kabila. A DR Congo government spokesperson, however, says he's not aware of Mr. Dokolo's conviction. And in South Sudan, President Salva Kiir has sacked 12 judges who have been on strike for the past 2 months over poor pay and terrible living conditions. The judges were also hoping to force reforms in the judicial system. The group comprised appeals court judges who demanded that the Chief Justice resign on grounds that he obstructed the judicial system. Junior judges receive a salary of 4,000 South Sudanese pounds, that's $25 in general, a month in the country of 12 million people, where a kilo of rice costs £130. South Sudan had only 274 judges on its payroll in the last budget, some of whom have since resigned. To health issues on the continent right now, the Gambia could become the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to eliminate malaria. According to the National Malaria Control Program, the prevalence of the malaria parasite in children under 5 has plunged to 0.2% from 4% in 2011. That number of new malaria cases in the country has fallen by about 40% in that time to 155,450 last year, down from 262,000 in 2011. Aside from the usual control measures such as anti-malarial drugs, insecticide-treated bed nets, and indoor spraying, Gambia has successfully used technology to tackle malaria. Carla Fayado from aid agency Catholic Relief Services also says internet service providers have boosted bandwidth in remote areas, meaning they can collect real-time data and can make decisions on the fly. The Gambia is aiming to achieve the milestone of having no new malaria cases by the year 2020. Let's get more now on the situation in South Sudan. Legal practitioner Mr. Chukwemeka Eze joins us from Lagos, is on the telephone. Mr. Eze, thank you for joining us on Network Africa. What do you make of... Oh, great to have you. What do you make of President Salva Kiir's decision to sack these judges? Is this fair, perhaps? I mean, they're striking over poor pay and living conditions, and they've been doing that for the past 2 months.
It is not fair because, in all jurisdictions, judges are considered the officials of the judiciary. And the judiciary being a separate arm of government, it takes a due process before judges are sacked. So using presidential powers or presidential decree to sack judges, it will affect investment in that country. It will mean that their judiciary is not independent, and it's going to have a negative reverberating effect on the whole country. It is not fair. As Salva Kiir has been taking any decisions that can be taken during where there is martial law. So one is not so surprised that he took that decision.
Can these judges challenge their sack in the law courts?
Yes, they can challenge it in the law court, but there is a problem. You recall that the judges were protesting that the Chief Justice should be sacked. Now, they are not only fighting the president and the president, they are also fighting their own members. So that means a house divided against itself cannot stand. So if they go to the law court, the Chief Justice will ensure that he will choose those judges that will not give judgment that will be favorable to them. And besides, they are behaving like a trade union. So there is a political angle to the problem. So they cannot use only the law court to solve the problem in the case of South Sudan. So they might go to law court, but you know they have an assembly of judges. So they are relying on that assembly of judges to take a decision.
Mr.
Out of about 274, only 12 were sacked. So So majority of them were not sacked. I doubt whether sacking of 12 will have effect on the remainder of those that were not sacked.
Yeah, I suppose the judiciary system will continue despite what's going on.